Hi Rashmi. Hi Jaspreet. Hi Vanshika.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, so today's topic was, is it wrong to maintain privacy or keep secrets in your relationship with your partner? So now it is open to all of you. Anybody wants to start the conversation or ask a question, you're free to do so.
And guys, we have very clearly mentioned that it is an online discussion. So I would request that please don't make it like a lecture and keep sitting quietly. If you feel that you don't have anything to add to this one and it is just something you just want to only learn and all that, then this is not a session for you. I'll say that very, very clearly. Because there is not going to be any learning in this. Anamika mentioned that this is a practical one. I want this a discussion. I don't want this a lecture. So perhaps if that is what you thought that this is going to be a learning kind of a thing and you want to join that, I think you should better enjoy yourself in a different way.
Okay, can I start first?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Sneha, and talking about keeping a secret or sharing anything and everything with your partner, I had a very strong. The reason I'm saying had because I think I'm work in progress. I had a very strong belief system that everything should be very transparent and shared with your partner. Even a minute thing, like let's say that me and my partner are checking out a guy and I really like him or he happened to approach me. So, and I used to believe that so strongly that when my partner was not doing that, it became a very big issue. I mean, one of the biggest reason that me and my ex had broken up is because I used to think that he's lying and he lied a lot. Later on, now after reading a lot, after going through multiple sessions and understanding, I now have started believing that everybody have a different definition of truth. And because he also always used to tell me that Sneha, the reason I did not say a certain thing or shared a certain thing with you because I know that it will hurt you. And I was of the belief system ki nahi, truth never hurts. It's okay if it even if it is a brutal one. But now I think that it is genuinely fine and okay if somebody is lying right in front of my face and I'm supposed to be okay with it because that's their uh, definition of truth. So just thought of sharing my opinion on or a belief system that I'm trying to change now.
Okay, okay. And like, in what way you feel that this is so? You used to feel that it was not okay. Now you feel it's okay. What happened? Like, what was the reason for this transition?
Well, the reason for this transition is very simple because I have understood that everybody is operating from their personal value system and belief system. For me, let's say that for me, discussing about my food preference with my partner uh, is completely okay because I would not like to start up my relationship with somebody with a lie. Wherein I have seen people in who had lied about such simple things also with their partner because of the fear that it would end up in breaking the
So
relationship.
can you give an example of this lie? Like, what kind of lie? What was it that they were hiding? Just as an example only, just so
Okay.
I understand like what's the uh, कुछ रहे ना समझने के
Yeah,
लिए
yeah.
अच्छी मत
I'm
हाँ
so from a minute from a small lie, like I'm from a Brahmin family and not supposed to be a non-vegetarian, but I was one in fact. And all my life my parents have been telling me that please do lie to your partner or people whom we are approaching for marriage, that you are a vegetarian, otherwise you will not end up having a relationship. And I was never okay with this thought process at all. There came a time when one of my very close cousin, she got married and she for almost 8 years of her marriage, she have never spoken the truth to her partner that she's a hardcore non-vegetarian. So my family always used to give me this thought, this suggestion. And there was a time that I had even had a fight with her, imposing my decision ki nahi, you should tell your partner the truth, because otherwise, why this is a relationship? I mean, what kind of relationship do you have? It's completely based on a lie. And she told me very categorically the reason she's lying, because she is scared that her partner will end up divorcing her because he is not okay with it. So I said, it's a customized thing. We are getting into a very comfort zone. But now, when recently I spoke to her and she still did continue telling me that she haven't shared this with her partner, I'm totally fine with it. I said, okay, if you think that it is going to save your relationship and you know him better than what I know, so it's fine. I think it's okay. You're not supposed to share anything and everything with them, because just like every food is not for everyone, I think every lie is also not, every truth is also not for everyone, is what I have started believing now.
Okay. Good. Thanks. Yeah, that was good start. Yes. In fact, I was listening to you and one question came to my mind, one thing, and now I've forgotten what came to my mind. But yeah, as you talked about it, then something I remembered. अभी तो एकदम भूल गया.
Okay. I'm looking forward to hearing others' opinions and stories. So please do share.
Well, Sudhir here. Thanks a lot, Sneha, for opening up the conversation. Really liked the way you put it up. I also believe that there is something which needs to be discussed with the partner about talking truth, and not just lying to them, and keeping that secrets. I don't believe in it. So personally, I don't believe in it. And when you have a relationship or a life partner in your life, definitely be opening up with whatever it is, whether good or bad. Either when it is bad, when you know that it's bad, that means you're going to break the relationship. Why did you do that? First thing, right? Second thing is, if you know that it's going to cause a trouble for, or it's going to cause a mark or make a mark in the relation, which you cannot wipe it off or clear it off in the future. Why did you do that? That's retrospective thinking, which one should definitely have it. But having said, when you did that, accept it as like, okay, you did that as a mistake, or when you realize that you did it a mistake, which if you feel that it's a mistake, you should definitely open up and share it with your partner, saying that, okay, this is a mistake which I've done it, and basically, if you want to do something, I'm okay to take it. Rather than just saying, hiding it will automatically cause another impression, or you get into a place where, okay, yaar, main isse kuch chupa raha hu. Why should I do it, and why should I take that guilt? Pehle se hi ab guilt ho, saying that, okay, you did some mistake, and on top of it, you're hiding it from your partner. Why one more thing? Why one more guilt? Rather than that, be open, have an open discussion. Yaar, hua ye, galti se hua hai, fine, accept it, or else apologize. There is nothing wrong in it, right? When rather than you saying it, someone else comes into and gives that input to your partner, that will hurt them more, a lot. Rather than that's what I personally feel. So I don't hide anything from my partner. I be open and vocal about it. It be kind of, if I didn't like anything, if she does it, I tell her openly. If she doesn't like anything, she tells me openly. That's how we are married. That's how, right? This is my personal point of view.
Yeah, thanks, Sudhir. Actually, now I remember what I was going to ask when you said that.
Yeah, Sachin. Just before you start, Sachin, I just have one small word, especially to say something about you. The chat which was happening on the other day on on the group, right? It was really like an eye opener for me, especially for me. And thanks for those inputs.
Which chat we are talking about? Sudhir, you are on mute.
I guess Sudhir is talking about the last call which we had.
Are you talking about
the recent chat session
or the chat
about emotions? Clarity.
Okay.
Chat. Emotions. We had a group chat, right? Emotions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great.
You were texting from your friend's place and your friend took a picture. I just want to recollect those moments.
Yeah. So thanks. Yes, so I remember. Rashmi, can you put yourself on mute, Rashmi?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I remember the question that came to me when Sneha was talking and Sudhir started talking. I remember. So what is more easier? Is it easier to keep a secret when you are stepping into a new relation, or is it easier to keep a secret when it's an old relation? So when you are stepping in a new relation, and like as she was talking about that, she's a non-vegetarian, but then you have to hide the fact from the new person, otherwise nobody will accept that and all that. So we don't know that person yet, and is it more likely we keep the secret when the person is new, or is it more likely we keep the secret when we know the person? Which one is more likely?
In my opinion, both.
More easier. And which one is
Easier
easier?
is, I think the first one.
Easier when the person is new. Bharat, can you please keep yourself on mute? So easier is when the person is new. So it's harder when you know the person.
Yes.
What about others?
Okay, I am getting. Yeah. Others also, please feel free to share your input.
Okay. It is not question of easy and difficult, but it will be the same with both the situations, because in the first instance we will feel insecure in trusting an unknown person and making ourselves vulnerable, and it is a natural tendency to filter what to share and what not to share. And in the second instance, we will know everything about the person usually, and in order to make the other person feel at comfort, and in order to safeguard that peaceful atmosphere for ourselves, we will filter what to say and what not to say. These are my views.
So are you saying that it's easy to keep us? It's easier on your word confused me. So can you say
Sachin,
it
your
in a
voice is breaking
language
in
what you are
between.
trying to? Okay. Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. I was asking that I actually got confused with Bharat's answer. I didn't really understand what he was saying. Did anybody else understand, so we can translate? Or Bharat, can you say in a different way?
I didn't. What I was saying, in both the situations, there is no contrast of ease and difficult. Both the situations go in the same way, according to me. In the first instance, we tend to filter what to say and what not to say, because we cannot easily trust someone who we don't know. So we share only those things which are safe to say. Uh, and in the second instance, we share certain things and we won't share certain things because we know what the other person perceives, how the other person perceives, and what they can accept and what they cannot accept, and what they feel comfortable about. So accordingly, we will share those things, and those the other person's reactions might
So
not be
I'm
always.
saying, okay, I'm still trying to understand because I am feeling the way you are describing. It sounds to me that as if it's easier to keep a secret from a person who I already know because I know that it will hurt them. So when you're using the word filter and all that, isn't that secret only? So are you saying that it's easier or not? I'm still not getting like what are you saying? Just say it in a simple words, no? Because I'm getting confused. Is it easy or not easy?
Yeah, it's easy.
Right. Okay. So it's difficult when it's a new person, you're saying, to keep a secret, or when it's a new person, you're saying it's not easy to be vulnerable or something you were saying. Again, I'm getting confused in your words. Too many words. I'm just getting confused.
Okay, Sachin, what I said, I cannot distinguish between the person whom I know and between the person whom I don't know. Only the reasons will change. That's it. In both the
Okay, so
ways, I'm
Bharat,
not finding easy
let
with
me,
one person. Mm-hmm.
yeah, just I'm trying to rephrase what you're saying. So, what you're trying
Okay.
to say is when you meet a new person, then you don't
Mm-hmm.
know that person. So, you have not tested peak with that person. So, you will
Mm-hmm.
alter your truth accordingly. But when you know somebody after a few years and you realize that what their fears are, what their insecurities are, and then you decide that which truth you want to tell and which truth you do not want to tell. So in the first case, the information which you have is not enough for you, so you filter more things, and then when you have more information, then you become more comfortable in sharing, this I can share, this I cannot. Is this what you're trying to say?
Exactly, Anamika. That is what I said.
Okay.
It is not the question of easy and difficult. It is the question of insecurity versus the other person's receptivity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's hear from others as well. There's more people on the call. So
Hello. Hi,
hi,
Yeah,
everyone.
Vanshika.
Yeah, I wanted to share something like मेरा experience is थोड़ा different. As in, like, I would feel more comfortable in sharing the truth with a person whom I don't know much because I have still not have that kind of bonding कि एक दूसरे को hurt होगा कुछ बोल के झूठ बोल के. So I feel कि when you are with an unknown person or the person जिसको साथ हम लोगों का इतना strong bond form नहीं हुआ है, so you can easily tell them whatever you feel like. I mean, truth hai nahi hai, because they will not immediately judge you. But when you know people who are very close to you, because this is also my personal experience, मेरे फैमिली मेम्बर्स, माई एक्स हस्बैंड, आई हैव दीज काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस कि जब आप कोई सच्चाई बहुत टाइम बाद अपने एकदम किसी अपनी सिस्टर को या अपने पेरेंट्स को बता रहे हो, तो दैट हैज़ अ वेरी bad impact. That has had a very bad impact. This is my own personal experience. So it's like कि उन लोगों को बहुत सोच समझ के बोलना पड़ता है. This is what my experience is.
I actually I agree with your experience. I'm not agreeing with this whole thing. So just to say that I'm just agreeing with your experience because that is my experience also.
Okay.
I also find the same thing that it's a lot easier to be open with a new person because there is nothing there to hurt. Like it's easier to start on truth with a new person.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier because one thing is that I prefer that as well, that to start on truth
Yeah.
and not hide anything from the person. So if something is going to break it, I would like it to be broken from day one itself. Then let it break. So I know that it's broken, and we both move on. We
Yeah.
both find something else. So I prefer that अगर ये बात acceptable नहीं है तो आज ही पता लग जाना चाहिए कि ये बात acceptable नहीं है. It's better
Yeah.
to have that decision right now than keep hiding it, and then after few years it comes out
Yeah.
about that. So मेरा भी यही personal experience है. So
I
I also
have
agree
the
with
same
that.
kind of experience.
हाँ, और it's lot harder to so और जब हम सीक्रेट यूजुअली तभी रखना शुरू करते हैं जब हम दूसरे को ज्यादा जानने लगते हैं और हमें मालूम पड़ जाता है कि ये हैंडल नहीं कर पाएंगे.
Yes, exactly.
So this is my personal experience also. So I'm not really like going in, मैं कोई ऐसा तराजू का एक साइड ऐसा भारी है वो नहीं. I'm just saying कि मेरा भी यही एक्सपीरियंस है.
Okay.
बाकी ये सही है या गलत है तो मालूम नहीं है, बट ये है ऐसा ही है. ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस मेरा भी है.
Right. And I guess I second that both of you. क्योंकि when you get into a new relationship, तो अगर आप उनको अपना ट्रूथफुल फेस नहीं दिखा रहे हो, मतलब अगर मैं नहीं दिखा रही हूँ, अगर if I get into a relationship and if I don't show the person what I really am, what my likes and dislikes really are, तो वो पर्सन मेरे मास्क से, मतलब जो मैंने कवर कर रखा है अपने आप को, that person is not loving who I am and what I am. Rather than that person is loving जो मैंने कहानी बनाई है that. And even though no matter how much I try, वो actually जो मैं हूँ वो कभी ना कभी तो it will show up and then it will hurt me also and that person also. Because ऐसे भी life में mostly relationships तो functionally है ना, and this relationship, the romantic one being the primary one, that also if we make functional, if it works for you, if it works for somebody, then it's fine. But I don't know, अगर मैं अपना masked चेहरा किसी को दिखा रही हूँ and that person loves my mask more than what I am, then it is not my definition of an intimate relationship. क्योंकि उसने तो देखा ही नहीं ना कि and that person has to love me for both, for the good I have and for the bad I have, जो भी उसका definition है, the good and bad definition they have, and still if they are able to accept me for what I am, then fine. Otherwise it's again the same transaction which is happening everywhere in our lives. Plus another question I have for anybody in the group just to contemplate on, कि secret रखना ज़्यादा easy है या फिर sharing the secret and getting accepted by it rather than pulling it on and off for your whole life. उस secret के साथ जीना ज़्यादा easy है या फिर उसको एक बार share करके getting accepted for that and moving on together in that, which one is easier? Because yes, there's always a chance कि वो secret से relationship break हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है, या फिर break नहीं भी होता है, then also in that case also there can be some rifts in the relationship. Yeah, that requires courage. But which one? Yeah, please.
I just want to add one point to what you were saying. Kind of going back, and you've already posted the question. So sorry about that. But one point you said, so I remembered something. The conversation चल रही थी. So especially when people they are looking for getting married, तो अगर वैसा चल रहा है, like किसी के पास एक checklist है और वो checklist से प्यार कर रहे हैं, वो they are not really loving the person, they are not seeing the person, they just want a person to map onto that checklist. And if another person is just modifying themselves and making it look like, yes, I pass, yes, I tick the box. So the connection is not with the person. They have not seen the person because the person has not shown them. They are only attached to a checklist, and somebody just mapped to that checklist. So their connection, their association is not the person. और हमने भी वही किया, हमने भी बस उनको खुश करने के लिए उसको टेस्ट को पास कर लिया कि yes, you wanted this, yep, I don't do this or I do this and all that. So what is achieved in that? And like, is this really a good start? And what is achieved? I would actually like to also know that. What is achieved in doing this? Maybe I'm putting this question because I don't do it. So इसलिए I don't know this. मैंने कभी try नहीं किया है. So I'm curious to know what is achieved. So if any of you have done it, I'm saying maybe you have done it in the past. You don't do it anymore. But I would like to know if any of you have done it. What was going through the mind? Why was this done? So I'm posting this question from a curiosity point of view.
I'll pick it up from Anamika's questions and also come to you, Sachin.
Yes.
One thing which when you said checklist, right, I was like actually, laughing loud and putting myself on a mute. Trust me, that was the situation for me. See, when you talk about it, right, see, which one is easy? For me, it's always the truth. Either you don't make it, just break it on the table. It's always good. So whenever you go to a new person, right, you should always be open up. That's what a healthy relationship is being maintained or should be maintained. Definitely, why can't we do it with our old partner or an existing partner when you're trying to find a new partner? That's okay. That means there is something else which can be worked on. There is something else which one person is missing in that relationship, and that's where or a pointer which is missing. That's where the person is looking out for that pointer. And why can't we talk about it with our current existing partner? If they can understand, there's nothing like that. If they don't understand, then one can make them to understand it. Okay, why am I feeling in this way? A kind of a romantic relationship or an intimacy issue, whatever it is. It's important for your life partner to understand you from your thought process, and also you to understand from them also from their thought process. That is really important. That is one thing which everyone should, I believe in it. I don't know about others, but the most important point is, rather than keeping or hiding the truth and living through the entire life, यार एक झटके में हो जाता है. Either you make it or break it, whether it's good or bad. Why don't we open it up? And that's what my thought process is. It's easy to share straight away. If you have a secret, it's better to share it. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? Breakdown. You'll break up the relationship, but still you'll be living for yourself. And that's what we all wanted, right? So you should definitely, or one should definitely open up. Right? There's nothing wrong in it. For me, that one is easy, rather than keeping or hiding it something for a long time.
Yeah. So I'm just rephrasing what you're trying to say. So the question I guess we need to ask ourselves is it easier to live with the truth, or is it easier to live in a broken relationship? I guess that is something, we all need to ask ourselves, that are we living, the truth? At least we are peaceful कि हाँ जो भी है यार, मतलब है तो वो है, but the relationship is saved. ठीक है, that you saved the relationship, but it's not, it's in a broken space. That is of course very situational in nature, क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है, जैसे for an example I've seen my cousins, I'll just share the examples which happened last year. So 2 of my cousins got married, and their first criteria was that the man should not be a businessman, and वो जो checklist की हम बात कर रहे हैं, so they had that checklist, and they I was just thinking कि यार, मतलब I did not say anything, but I was thinking कि क्या है, मतलब how do these, what is going on? How do these people live? And then I saw them, and I realized that is the only thing they know to do, because that is what they have done. So उनको वो intimacy और वो सब चीजें सब secondary है. The security comes first for them, right? So I have no judgment कि ऐसा क्या है या ऐसा क्यों है, but at least they had clarity कि हाँ भैया, मतलब okay fine, I am marrying this guy for this reason. at least being honest, because itna hypocritic तरीके से in the society runs, where we are said, oh my god, we are shown in the movies that love is of the highest priority, but when it comes to actually living it with people, there's so much hypocrisy that there's a checklist. So at least be honest, right? That I am marrying for the checklist. Material possessions are important for me. I want a husband who has a package, who earns at least 50 lakhs a year. And I'm not going to settle down for any less than that. At least being honest with yourself. Even if you're doing that, don't lie. Stop. We need to, stop lying to ourselves at least. So that is what I felt in that moment. That, and I was just observing them, that are they honest to themselves? And I saw that they were actually honest to themselves. Unko intimacy chahiye bhi nahi. They're not looking for intimacy. They are looking for security. They're looking for, material things, and that's fine. वो उनकी journey है. They are going through that journey. That's okay. But honesty to yourself first, comes first key. At least be honest. So even when you are lying, वो honesty दूसरे से तो बाद में आएगी, but are we honest to ourselves, or we are like being like those hypocrite people inside? So that's just the personal experience I witnessed last year.
That's a good example, because I was asking that why do people do this, and I guess that was a very good answer to that one, because I am thinking from a relationship, from like an intimacy, that it is important, and to keep that intimacy and to keep that connection going, it is important to not keep any secrets. Tell the truth, because it will hurt later on. It comes out, and not only that, even if it doesn't come out, we will spend the rest of our lives trying to hide it, and in fear that it might come out someday. So it's just it's a lot of pressure on me. I'm talking about me, so I'm not talking in general. So it's a lot easier to just say it and face the consequence. But at the end of the day, we want the intimacy and the connection to be strong. But I guess what you're saying, I also accept that point, because to everyone, not intimacy is important. For them, it's the material security or the status or whatever is more important. And अगर वो intimacy मिल जाए तो अच्छी बात है, वो तो bonus हो जाएगा. But if the focus is on that, is on maintaining that security, then obviously they will do whatever it takes to make sure that they don't damage it, and that justifies them to be holding on to secrets, because when the truth comes out, they can't take the chance of losing that security. So I guess that's a good example and a good answer to what I asked before. Thanks. Who else wants to share? Maybe, Annika, you also want to touch upon the difference between secrecy and privacy, since we have spoken a lot about secrecy. Perhaps maybe talk a little bit about the privacy side as well. That what is the difference? What is the difference between secrecy and privacy?
Okay, so I'll touch it. I'll just brief it a bit. So according to me, as per my personal experience, which I've seen in my life, so I need a lot of personal space and a lot of, a space where I can be myself, and I can write, and I can do whatever I want to do. So in that point of time, I just want everybody, including my family, my partner, to just leave me aside and just do things on my own. Or if there are things which I feel that which are not important, just not important for the relationship. It's like I have shared everything with my partner, that all the most important details, but I am not ready to get into the minutest details of everything, let's suppose, of my past relationships. Just taking an example of my past relationships, I don't want to dig deep and get into like really minute stuff, because it's just not relevant at that point of time. So it's just being in that space of solitude first, and then any information which is irrelevant for me, so including those two things, is what I consider as my privacy. Anything which is not, which just like, it's not going to impact the relationship, and it's coming from the space of connection with myself, having an individual identity. Because even if we marry somebody, we don't become like that all the people who say like, I'm my other half and what what I don't understand that. What other half? You are full in your own self, you are an individual person. So you have that space, and that space is privacy for me. And when it comes to secrecy, then there is, that secrecy comes out from the space of insecurity and fear for me, and it is something relevant to the relationship. It is something which has the power to impact the relationship, and still uh, um, we hide it, or we just don't tell it because we don't want to sometimes it's just like we don't want to have an argument or fight, or we keep avoiding the fights, or we fear that how the other person would react. So secrecy more comes from the space of fear and insecurity, while privacy comes from just the space of being yourself, or just being very clear headed that this is this information which is relevant, and this is not. This is just, and this is the personal space I have for myself. But secrecy is not that. Secrecy is hiding things which are relevant. So that is from my side. So if anybody wants to add anything to this, to the privacy point, and what are your definitions, or how do you understand it, feel free to do so.
Rashmi is typing. Rashmi, you are not able to talk right now. I see you are typing messages. So okay, I'll read out what she's saying. Rashmi says, my father used to say, when you tell a lie, tell it nearest to the truth. This applies only if you really have to lie. Have I lied in a relationship with my mom, brother, husband, kids? I have. Having said that, it depends a lot upon how much it would change the relationship, and do I really want it to change that? Then she says, there are many things that will go with me to my grave. Should I tell my old mother that my brother tried to have his fancy with a girl? I did confront him, but should I tell it to my old mother, who thinks he is the best person? 𝗕𝗵𝗿𝗵𝗁 सबसे होती है. This was maybe the first time.
No, but Rashmi, this conversation which we are having is specific to romantic relationships and our primary partnership. When it comes to our family, then I guess there are a lot of things, like for an example, if somebody smokes, or if somebody drinks, or if somebody has had an affair which the parents are not ready to listen for, then I guess a lot of us hide a lot of things from people we love and family and everything. So the dynamics actually change when it comes to your partner, and that is why it is your primary romantic relationship. So that is where it changes.
And you don't have like 20 primary romantic relationships.
Oh, never. I agree. I'm sorry, I'm in a train, so there's a lot of noise otherwise. Train is
okay,
now.
No problem. Yes, so I think as Anamika said that the context is in romantic relationship only because the dynamic changes. For other relationships, yes, for whatever logistical reasons, we do that, and many times we feel comfortable and justified also. But it is talking about that life partner, who we consider the life partner, someone who we have bonded with. So So it's more in context with that. What about that? So is that it?
I would like to second what I don't remember who said it, but then it depends, right? So, for example, in my personal relationship, there are many things that my husband even today has not spoken about, even though I have, kind of really. And there are then I constantly private. This is private for me. So there are things private, right? Privacy for me. I don't have anything to hide. There's no life, and everything is open like a. One person doing it and the other person not doing it, and then when you start really, if you remember, I shared the story where I had to go to this lady's house who he really liked a lot, right? And I took him there. So, but that was a hidden fact, and it hurt me a lot. But it was not the truth, right? I dropped him have told me, but this is me finding out, right? That hurts a lot. But then over a period of time, I'm like, okay, fine. I also kind of stopped telling a lot about what I am doing and how I'm doing, because it doesn't matter now anymore. It's gone. It's gone forever. So it should be both ways. It cannot be just one. What I feel.
Sachin, I guess we lost Rashmi.
Yes, we did. So anybody else wants to pick up the conversation? There are other people who haven't spoken yet. As I mentioned in the beginning only, that this is not a learning experience. So would like to hear from everyone.
Yeah, hi, good evening everyone. Can I add on this?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. In my perspective, personal relationship can't be hold on secret, more on secret relationship. You have to be very authentic in that. You can't keep that baggage for long while maintaining that relationship with your partner and all that. Because even I have experience in my case also, although I'm very authentic towards my husband. But there are certain things which I don't lie and I have to tell him also. So I think so that keeps you also very lively and cheerful, and you're also free from all of things. Although no, I know my husband has a possessive nature about certain things, but if I'm not hiding anything, so I don't feel any fear of keeping any secrets. So I think so that keeps the relationship on and very lively. So that's always been there. I think so. Secrets on privacy, what Anamika said, privacy, yes, I always enjoy, and that's my space where I feel like I have my own space of thoughts and my own concerns, which I'm very clear with my husband, and I think so. That's always important for an individual to keep the relationship on. So that's my perspective. Rest is yours. Let me know.
Okay, thanks, Jaspreet.
Sachin, I had a question. When we talk about privacy, so does that mean that, like, if we want to do something of our own and the partner is not liking that, so that is something, so like how do we define that? Like, I just wanted to know about this. Like, if your partner is not supporting you, if you want to do something of your own for your own growth, but people are not supporting, your in-laws are not supporting, so what does that mean?
Anamika, you want to comment on that?
Yeah.
Or
So,
anybody wants to?
So I don't think that is a question of privacy or secrecy either, because you have already shared, you want to do something, and you have not kept anything private as such, from your family, but they are not supporting you. So that is, something which is, beyond privacy and secrecy. Yeah. So anything else? I mean, you would like to add on to this thing, Vanshika? Like anything further?
No, not really, but yeah, like I just wanted to know, like, does it come in like this my own space, privacy? Because I had this personal experience, so I didn't even have my own personal space because then people used to tell me कि you are मतलब तुम घर की बहू हो, you should take care of everybody, you should not have a private space because that is not what you are asked to do, this is not a kind of virtue that you should have.
Right, right. And that is where it becomes really unhealthy for a lot of people, because for a lot of people, privacy, they are like, they are fine being with other people. But for a lot of people, it is required. And for most of us, maybe not a lot of privacy, but at least a little bit of it, maybe just 5-10 minutes of privacy. So,
And
that is.
I would also add to that privacy wouldn't really require you to take anybody's permission.
Yeah.
If it's something you want to do, or whatever charges your battery or whatever.
Yeah,
Secret,
absolutely.
it's not secret. So if you are going in the domain where you are saying, I'm not getting permission and I'm not getting approval and all that, we are talking about something else totally. So this is something different. So in order for you to maintain that privacy, that I want to charge my batteries, and this is what I would like to do. I would like to have this alone time for myself and all that. But if that is now getting questioned as being selfish, or that is not how we do things and all that, that's something else we're talking about.
Yeah.
I would like to hear from others also, right? 𝗖𝗹𝗿, Vinay, Vibha, Harish, Fatima, Mithila. Many people have not spoken. So see, why I am asking you guys all to speak, because I want to make this very, very clear that when we say online discussion, we mean online discussion. So when only few people talk and others are only listening, then everybody else also feels uncomfortable. So there's no show going on here that you just take a back seat and you just take popcorns and you just enjoy it. So this is discussion. And I want to make it very clear that I don't want people who are opening up to feel uncomfortable as well. So if this is not something which you enjoy, opening up, then please don't join these calls. Because this is not for you. This is not a show. I want people to interact, I want people to talk. And I'm okay if there is only 4 people who join. But talking and interaction is important. And if that is not your cup of tea, it's totally fine. I'm not going to force you. I'm just saying don't join. Because we don't want other people to feel uncomfortable that they are being observed and others are just listening in the background. So either please interact or enjoy your Sunday in a different way.
Yeah, hi, this is Mithila here. So, first of all, I've added this group, and there was like, as per the conversation, what I understood that the secrecy what you maintain, that is more, being asked here, and discussion is on that, right? So, first of all, that topic, if you're talking only related to that, maybe I'm not the right person for this group, maybe. So I was not knowing that much exactly, because the group, what it says that, regarding that, after the conversation, what I understood from that group is there is something that you want to keep it for yourself and you are unable to express it to people. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong.
A simple question today is, according
Lots
to
of
you,
disturbance at the background of yours, and it is very disturbing actually.
okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, but I don't know whose it is background. but there is a lots of background and honking and all that.
So
I don't know
I was
from whom it
saying
is.
the question today is, which is only for you to answer from your point of view, is it wrong to keep secrets and keep privacy in a private romantic relationship? So what is your opinion on it? What is your thought process around?
So you're talking about a purely in the relationship, right?
Yes.
See, I don't know this how this topic is going on.
Also, not relationship.
See, there are certain things.
Father.
Pardon, I didn't get you. No, I didn't get you.
I'm just making it clear that when we say relationship, we are only talking about romantic relationship, not brother, sisters, father, mother kind of relationship.
Okay, so I have a query in this, but I don't know how far it is close to these questions. Like, there are certain things in our daily routine. What happens is, we go out, we meet so many people, we work, and there are lots of conferences, meeting, lots of things. There are certain things we keep it for ourselves, and we never discuss with the spouse. And sometimes what happens that in the presence of spouse, and we tend to move out from that area, and we go to the place wherein we try to talk some issues or something related to that. I know that it's not purely related to relationship, but there are certain things in our life, we have to discuss, and that spouse may take it in a wrong way as well. So does it really is the right question in this forum? I don't know. But no, it is affecting the relationship somewhere or the other, for sure.
So if you feel that is going to be the case, then would you keep secret or would you tell the truth?
See, sometimes telling the entire story, we don't feel that much of energy also to tell them from the scratch and everyday update on the same issues. There are certain things what we talk, it's totally different. The person may think it's totally different, because whenever there is lots of things she's getting into and she's talking lots of things about the office, we don't know, like, because certain things some people, of course, they discuss each and everything. Certain people, they don't. But does it affect really in this relationship?
That is why I'm asking, what is your opinion? This is the reason I very clearly said that there are many infinite possibilities and we are not discussing those ones. I'm saying, what is your opinion? Would you do it? Do you do it? What do you do? That is what the question is. Do you keep secrets or do you prefer to tell the truth? What is your preference?
Certain official things and all that, that's not related to relationship, but we try not to discuss all the things, what was happening and what's happening also. I'm not talking about the relationship, any general things also. But it happens that we can't tell 100% whatever is going on, right?
And
there is a secret.
What is the reason for that? What is the reason? So again, what do you feel like? There must be something. For some reason, you do it maybe to save the relationship or whatever. So that's the point of discussion.
It may be multiple reasons. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I would like to just. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, Sneha.
Yes. I think I can paraphrase this or comprehend it better, because I am of the same opinion that yes, all of us want to certainly speak the truth. However, we do calibrate the truth based on, as Anamika had mentioned, that are you okay with telling the truth and understanding that it might lead to a breakup also. So people don't tell. Honestly, I'm sure that each one of us want to tell the truth to anybody and everybody in our relationship. But then, if there is something that can lead to a breakup, I am pretty sure that nowadays I try and avoid that, because I have understood that not that person will not understand, or not everybody will understand my perspective or my intention of doing certain act.
That's good. This is exactly what I wanted to hear because, see, and I repeat this, these answers are good. What Nikhila has said and Sneha, this is coming from personal experience. And
Exactly.
nobody over here is saying that you are doing right or you are doing wrong. We are only talking about what is happening. And we are saying ground reality is this. Whatever we talk about, whatever that is the ground reality of relationships these days is basically this. This is what is happening. And that is exactly the point of this discussion, to get to those points that what exactly is going on and what are we doing and how we are doing and all that. That's good. That's good.
I think certain brutal truth which I know can lead to harm to the relationship, as well as will affect my bond with a person. I would prefer not to speak about it, because I might end up hurting somebody very badly.
So basically, would you then say that the reason we have got to this point is because people just don't know how to handle the truth?
I know how to handle it, but not the listener.
Yeah. But that is your opinion. No? I think maybe your partner might think differently. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying हमारी अपने बारे में तो opinion अच्छी होती है.
अपने बारे में तो अच्छी है. मैं तो सच बोलती हूँ, but then हजम सबको नहीं होता है.
हाँ, तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कोई चीज ऐसी है जो आपको भी हजम ना हो, जो आपको अपने बारे में ऑब्जर्व नहीं होती, बट आपके पार्टनर ने ऑब्जर्व की होंगी एंड दे वुड प्रोबब्ली सी कि ये शायद आपका टॉलरेंस लेवल उनसे बहुत ज्यादा होगा, लेकिन अभी भी इनफाइनाइट तो नहीं है ना, कहीं पे तो आप भी ब्रेक हो गए.
Exactly.
मे बी दे वुड नो कि ये बात ये नहीं करनी, यहाँ ये नहीं उठानी. तो दैट इज वेयर वी आर टॉकिंग ना, तो इनफाइनाइट टॉलरेंस लेवल तो किसी का नहीं है.
Exactly. Because we all have a trigger point. For let's say that I am very attached to my family, and my partner is not liking my family, so he knows somewhere that अगर मैं इसको कुछ बोलूंगा इसके फैमिली के बारे में तो ये चिढ़ जाएगी या कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. But then he will certainly go and bitch about my family to a third person. We all do that in our own way. That if we are not comfortable, but we don't confront it with the person or speak the truth with the person who is involved, and with the same fear that it might end up or it might lead to a fight or a conflict. And I am not talking about secrecy. Secrecy is a different thing altogether. I am only talking about a truth, brutal truth, कि मुझे नहीं पसंद आ रहा ये चीज, या I have done something wrong.
Right. At least, yeah, that is what I feel, that when we take such decisions, at least we can be honest to ourselves. मतलब वो अंदर ही जो लड़ाई चलती रहती है ना, that is not going to take us anywhere, right? So at least we can be honest and own it, right? Even if like we are, let's suppose कोई ऐसी चीज है which is like harshly going to end the relationship, and let's suppose it was a mistake and whatever it is, and although I don't really feel that I should hide that to my partner, but even for other people and the way I have been in the past, so मेरे experience में भी मैंने यही चीज देखी कि at least rather than that fight going on within us, feeling guilty and all that, at least we should own it, that yes, I take the responsibility of the consequence of it. So at least we'll be at peace with ourselves. But then again, we need to ask the question that am I at peace with holding that truth or telling that truth? If you're actually at peace with what, it's a very personal choice we all have. So at least we can be honest to ourselves that what this relationship is and what it means to me and what kind of a relationship I want to have, and at least be clear headed ki हाँ ये चाहिए, this is what it is. And it is also important to consider the other person, and it is also important that we own it कि अगर ये ऐसा any consequence that is going to follow this whole thing, then I'm ready to face the consequence. I am bang on, like I am standing right here on, like if I'm not speaking the truth right away, then I'm ready to take the consequence which is going to be followed. So that's just my personal opinion, but yeah.
Totally, I second what
Second
Anamika.
with you, Anika. I also second with you, Anamika. The
Yeah,
point
I
is,
also
I mean, people can only take a stand when they can accept the challenge or the mistake, which if they have done it, if they feel that it's a mistake, and sharing it with your partner, then the stand part will come. But यहाँ point ये है कि बताना है कि नहीं बताना है, वो ये point. That's where we are all, most of us are stuck, right? So I think that's what we need to kill that, or that's what
हमको
So, Sudhir, I think
क्योंकि
it is
हमको
very
क्या है कि
personal actually. If your conscience is telling you that this truth is, something that you can speak up and it is supposed to be done for sure, then you can. Otherwise, if you think that it is not even worth sharing because it is not going to be that of that importance, you can keep it as a secret or not even share.
Vibha, you raised your hand. You want to say something?
Yes. Hi everyone. So I joined quite late, and there was a series of conversation going on. I was really listening out to everybody, not able to contribute, but I really want to talk about it. So yes, there are two things that the topic says, right? Is it wrong to keep secrets or maintain privacy? I think both are two different terminologies. Wherein privacy, I would say that each and every relation, any person would need a privacy, right? There is a space which is only limited to you, and having it is completely okay. I wouldn't say that keeping a privacy is wrong. I think everybody needs that space, maybe few hours, few minutes, or whatever it is. So having privacy is very important for your emotional health or your mental health. Coming on to secrecy, I think, why do we keep secret? When we think about it, it is basically related to some or other affair, right? So if I talk about my intimate relationships, or say a romantic relationship wherein I and my partner is involved, why would I keep a secret? Only when I have a fear, right? Maybe the person will not understand me, maybe when I think that person will misjudge me, or when I have a fear of losing the person, is the only reason when I will keep something as a secret. And it depends on person to person, right? Situation can be different, person can be different. It depends. So not very sure that how to handle such situations, because all of us are not prepared to share the secret. If you have a very strong relationship wherein you don't have fear of losing your partner, or you do not have fear of getting misjudged, or anything related to losing them, is when you will be more open in terms of sharing the secrets. And in case it's missing and you have all those fears, I think that's the only reason when you will keep anything as a secret. You don't want to go ahead and talk about it and lose it, because we understand, and everybody likes that. सब बोलते हैं कि सच बता दो यार, सच बता दो. सच बताना टफ शायद इसलिए क्योंकि सामने वाला इतनी इजीली एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता. मे बी कीपिंग योर सेल्फ इन देयर शूज एंड देन थिंकिंग, यार अगर मेरे को बताता, ओके, आई अंडरस्टैंड, आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट पर्सन हैज टोल्ड द ट्रूथ, बट what is my reaction? Am I okay? Will I be normal again and accept
I
it?
actually agree with what you're saying as well. This
Totally.
is another point. I totally agree that most of the time we are not able to open up because we fear that the other person will not receive us the way we want to be received. And that fear that we will be judged and we will be misunderstood is why, that's again my own personal experience that way. Most of the time when I have not said anything or like that, it's primarily from the point that I know the other person will not understand.
Yes. Maybe if we know that, we will be accepted, we will not be misjudged, we'll go easily and talk about it. Nobody wants to keep a secret and be a liar, or they will have a guilt feeling. But at times it becomes important that you keep it as a secret to save your relationship. And maybe that's the reason that people keep some secret. It depends on the situation, it depends on person on the other side, and it can be different with different people. Maybe for somebody it is very easy to go ahead and talk about whatever they have in their life, right? Maybe for others it's not. So seeing it from a different lens, I'm really not able to say that is it right or wrong. But yes, it's completely situational.
Right. No, absolutely, Vibha, what you're saying. I'll just, follow it with a story. There was one lady, which was a friend of a friend. So now what happened that, she was she was married, she had kids, and she was very clear that she wanted to, spend her life with her family. She was very clear about that, but her personal life was like really, really gone. I mean, she was really unhappy. And then she met a friend of hers, and she felt attracted to that guy. And he had a very similar situation, that he also had a family, and he did not want to leave the family or do anything like that, because he wanted to take up the responsibility. They were clear-headed. They came together and they started being together and spending time together, and they were being very clear to each other. But what happened as a result of them being together, both of them went back happier in their own married relationships. And they were not doing it out of guilt or anything. And we are nobody to tell anybody that this is right or this is wrong. That was a very personal choice everybody has. And they were very clear about it, about their responsibility and the affair they had. And they were also ready to take the consequence ki theek hai, but they were also not ready ki hamare partners ye samajh payenge. They did not share it with their partners. So on the face it looks like a lie, but what ended up happening in the whole process is that they went back happy in their married relationship. उनकी fights कम हो गई. They were all happy. मतलब जिसको जो भी चाहिए था. So it is so situational कि we just end up judging the situation so early. So she was not our client or anything, but she was just a friend of friends, and we all ladies and girls, we all met in the group, and everybody was sharing their story. And she was so happy sharing her story. It's been like, I guess, 1.5 2 years. And she was just happy, and she was owning it that this is what I'm doing, and I'm not ready. I'm just not ready to share it with my partner, because he or she, they are not gonna understand. And we are happy living this way. And when the time comes, when we feel that it is the right time, when the children have, we will share it, because now our relationship with our own married partners are not intimate enough. We will see at that point of time. So it's a very situational and personal thing. So it would be really wrong to say that this is right and wrong for you, right? So that is just a story I wanted to share, because we see it from our eyes and it would look like, oh God, what they were doing was wrong or anything, but they were just fine. There was another man we met a few years back, and he was ready to take responsibility for his family, but he was not intimate with his wife. So he had an affair with some other female and lady, and he was ready to own it, and he was very clear that yes, this is what I'm doing, and I'm fine doing it. I'm happy, because I want to fulfill my responsibility, and I have my own personal life, and I'm being very clear. So he went and told the truth to his wife, and she was fine with it, and that was another setup. So we really have to see, situationally for ourselves, that what is it that we want, how do we want to make it work, and it's very subjective in nature, very situational. So I totally agree to you on that, Vibha.
Yeah, I completely resonate to what you are saying, and that's absolutely true. Maybe at times we'll have to wait for a situation when it is right that we should go ahead and tell about the secret that that we were keeping. Um, yeah, it's just completely situational based, also a personal choice. And I think the best thing we can do as human is be less judgmental about others. Maybe not judging someone is the best thing we can do. That's what I feel.
Of course, of course, of course.
And I want to also add to that one is it's a lot easier to judge or not to judge others, a lot harder to stop doing it to ourselves.
Yeah, but what
It's
happens as a
something we
human?
need.
Yeah, what happens as a human tendency? The first thing we do is we ought to judge the person, right? I think we have to learn it with time that the less judgmental we are, the more happier the
And
society.
how would we learn? How would we learn to stop judging other person? How would you
Maybe
learn that? How would anybody learn that?
if somebody is sharing their experiences, like here, if you're taking this thought back that we have to be less judgmental and we start practicing
Again,
it, it's not an easy thing.
How? It is easy.
So it is easy to say, as I said, and difficult to practice. But when there is a
Why
thought
is
in
it
your mind,
difficult to practice? No, I tell you why it is difficult to practice is because the how you are not nailing it. The how will come only when you stop judging yourself. There is no practice outside. There is no practice listening to another person and stop judging and all that. That is all efforts. Until it clicks to us, until we accept it, until I really connect with it, all my judgments are gone. For me and for everybody else.
I think connecting is very important, and sometimes it's not our trait, but we develop and we learn, right? If I connect with this thought, I'll take it back, and when it is in my subconscious mind, maybe at times I will go with the judgment. That's a human trait, right? But when it's in my subconscious mind and I'll think back and look, okay, we had a discussion there, and this is one thought, I have to be less judgmental. Maybe then is when
let's say I take an example. Are you veg or non-veg?
I'm a non-veg.
Okay, so you're a non-veg. Do you judge other non-veg people? Does even the thought come to you?
Not at all.
Exactly my point. Why? Because you are doing it and you are totally fine with it.
Yeah. So let me tell you, Sachin.
What I'm saying. It only works when we connect and we connect with it and it works for me. There is no practicing outside. Practicing outside is all efforts. I have not connected
but don't you
myself.
think
I have not.
So important. I would say that efforts are equally important, Sachin. I said that I'm a non-veg and I'll not judge someone who is a non-veg, right? But there are certain things, if others are doing, I'm not doing it, then also I'll not judge them. And at times practice is important. Like I said, yes, connecting is one of the important points you mentioned. And I think, yes, if I connect with that thought, I'll take it away as a learning, right? And efforts are needed to bring it into life. If I'm say not an early riser, but I can be, right? It's not that I'm not, and that thought doesn't click with me, I'll not be an early riser. Maybe that thought connected with me, and practice it. And
efforts for yourself. Yes. So efforts for your own transformation is required, definitely. I am not denying that. Without efforts, that transformation is not going to come. But I'm saying that the direction of that effort is not outward. The direction of that effort is inward. If we say we have to stop judging others, I'm saying it's not going to happen. Because stop judging others will only happen when we stop judging ourselves. So when the efforts are directed inwards and we work on ourselves and we work on our wounds, our shadows, and we dissolve them, the outward actions don't even need to take place, because once I connect with it, that whole thing dissolves for me. It doesn't exist for me anymore. So like when I maybe when you started non-veg at that time, you might have a lot of apprehensions and all that. But when you are eating it, now when you see another person eating it, the thought itself doesn't come. Whereas another person sitting with you who's veg might be having so many thoughts going on looking at another person. But for you, the thought itself will not come, because you have already done the efforts inwards towards you you get used to non-veg, whatever it is. Efforts, definitely, no doubt about that. But my question was efforts where, the how, that was I was asking. Like how, what exactly needs to be done? So I just wanted to point on the call a bit more pointed action in case, and this is not a conversation between the two of us. There is 14 other people on the call as well. So it's everybody is listening. So maybe you might be fully connected with this, but I think there may be other people who might also find it useful to know the how part of it. So what exactly needs to be done? How do I stop judging others? You stop judging others when you stop judging yourself. So work on yourself. That is when it dissolves.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks. Okay, people are now dropping and we have anyway shooted half an hour more than the time. Should we wrap up? Anamika, do you have anything to say, or anybody has anything else to say before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you so much.
Well, it's late, so we'll just wrap the call now. Right. If any of you have any question or anything you want to talk about, you can just post it in the group. If there are any topic suggestions which you want, to cover up in the future, then you can post that as well. And cool. Anything you want to add, Sachin?
Anamika, can I request you to stay 5 more minutes? Is it okay?
Sure.
If you have anything to add, please go ahead.
No, I just want to speak to Anamika for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. You mean outside of this call? So you...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So let's wrap up. So thanks for joining. See you next week. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. So others can also leave the call.
Anamika, can we stop recording?
Sorry, Vibha?
Can we stop recording?
Yeah, it would stop on its own. The moment, Sachin logs out from Vuji's account, it will stop on its own. Okay. Or do you want to connect with me on WhatsApp?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to you for a few minutes.
Okay. Vinay and Saurav, can you guys just leave the call? I'm not sure if they can hear us.
Maybe as an organizer, you have the rights to remove.
Yeah, just a moment. I'll ask Sachin to do the same. He only left. I don't know. I'm not seeing an option to, remove them. Saurav and Vinay, if you can hear me, can you please leave this call?
I think they are not nearby their devices.
Yeah.
All right. When you hover your this mouse, you will see an sign to either pin or remove the participant. Are you not able to do that?
No, I'm not able to do that. Yeah, I can see this pin thing, but not the remove.
Maybe you do not have admin rights. That's the all right.
Fine, let's connect over WhatsApp then. You have my WhatsApp number, no?
Yes. All right then. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.